dedicated to somebody really special and important to me, Miss Janet Garnios. I would not be here without you today, and I just want to thank you for all that you've done with me and for me. ¿Quién quiere ser? La vida está llena de oportunidades, solo necesitamos estar abiertos a ellas. This quote roughly translates to, life is full of opportunities, we just need to be open to them. Over the past couple years, my inspirations have given me multiple opportunities to be a better person. I've been given opportunities that have interested me in an exciting career path, have taught me to appreciate kindness, and have also taught me to embrace my culture and identity. Today, I am here to talk about my inspirations, Barbara Bollinger, Mr. Eugene Mertz, and my school, Swain. Technical difficulties. One day. Barbara Bollinger has been an inspiration to me for many years. However, I didn't realize she was inspiring me until I had to start this speech. Barb is a U.S. Navy veteran, a forensic pathologist, a successful investor, and my inspiration. She's a family friend whose daughter used to go to school with my sisters and I. Barb has inspired me to pursue becoming a forensic pathologist. It began with offering to let me watch an autopsy and led to her telling me tales of cases that she's worked on. She's a truly successful woman who will stand up for what's right. She's helped me through an emergency, surgery, and recovery, which I am eternally grateful for. Barb has always stood up for others and put them first. She even spent her time serving her country in the U.S. Navy. Barbara Bollinger is a valiant woman who has worked her way up through hard work and education. She understands the true value of education and makes sure to provide her daughter with the best education she can get. Barbara Bollinger is an extremely intelligent person who's inspired me to want to pursue a future in the path in the medical field. She introduced to me the world of CRISPR, clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. For those of you who did not understand any of that, CRISPR is a gene editing DNA sequence. It is a newer area of medicine, and even though it is still somewhat new, Barb has given me the tools that I need to research it and possibly change the world. This DNA sequence is a legendary tool to cure all types of diseases and illnesses. It is a gene editing tool which could potentially bring a cure to cancer and other illnesses, and I hope to work with this technology one day. This would have never been brought to my attention if it weren't for Barb. She wants me to be successful, and she pushes and encourages me to try my best in ways no one has ever done before. I want to make a change in the world and help others one day, and Barb has given me the resources and ideas to do so. She has instilled inside me my dream of harnessing the power of CRISPR, and I'm forever thankful. Durante mi tiempo a Swain, aprendí a aceptar mi cultura, excepto que soy chicana y estoy orgulloso de eso. Mis maestros me enseñan a aceptar cada identidad y por eso estoy eternamente agradecida. Swain es mi hogar. Yo tengo muchos amigos a quienes amo y muchos maestros que son como familia, incluso mi maestro que me ayudó con este discurso. Los maestros en esta escuela son más de maestros. Son más como héroes que ayudan a sus estudiantes a tener éxito. Estos maestros tienen mi total admiración y estoy eternamente agradecida. Gracias a los maestros que me han impactado a ser quien soy hoy. Antes de Swain, fui insegura de mi cultura, sin braquidáctili y lo que me hacía diferente. A Swain, estas cosas son cosas yo amo más de mí. Swain me hizo quien yo soy. This translates to, during my time at Swain, I learned to accept my culture. I learned to embrace that I am a Chicana, and I'm proud of that. My teachers have taught me to accept every identity, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Swain is my home. I have many friends whom I love, and many teachers who are like family, including the teacher who helped me write this speech in Spanish. The teachers at this school are more than teachers. They're heroes who help their students to gain success. My teachers have my total admiration, and I am eternally thankful. Thank you to my teachers who have impacted me into who I am today. Before Swain, I was insecure about my culture, brachydactyly, and what made me different. At Swain, these are things that I like most about myself. Swain made me who I am. My friends and my teachers are the reason that I'm standing up here wearing a flamingo tie. Thank you. During my time at Swain, I found that part of my identity was trying to find ways to be kind. I want to be known for being a kind person who can share and give to others. One of my inspirations, Mr. Eugene Mertz, helped me realize why I want to be kind. Mr. Mertz was a total complete stranger that I met at the farmer's market where my family used to own a Mexican restaurant. When I was done eating my food, I would offer to throw away the trash to the older people who shared a table and talked to each other for hours. These people were a mix of total strangers and friends, yet they were able to connect with each other in the small amount of time that they shared. Among these people was Mr. Mertz. He was a regular at the market because his son and his family owned a bakery with his wife, and he enjoyed spending time with him during his breaks. He occasionally needed assistance and needed to be with people after he lost his wife. She died due to brain cancer, and he was learning to live without her. Even though a huge part of his life had just left him, Mr. Mertz stayed strong and continued to be the most optimistic person and kind person that I know. When it was getting late and people were leaving the market, Mr. Mertz would sit with my sisters and I and regale us with tales of his childhood and horseback riding. He was a quite fascinating friend, and he turned out to be one of the people I respected most, and not just because he was my elder. After a fall, Mr. Mertz was moved into a nursing home. He hated it. He hated the food and the lack of freedom. While he was at the market, he had come to our restaurant for a cup of arroz con carne de adobada y un elote. One of my favorite things about Mr. Mertz was that he was always keeping the sticks from his elote. He once showed me his collection of these elote sticks. Even the simplest thing, like a small wooden stick, was enough for him to find happiness. The elote sticks may not be fancy materialistic items, but he was able to find happiness in the memories that they brought him. This shows me that he can find happiness in the memories of people around him, not just materialistic objects. He was a ray of sunshine that lit up any room he was in. After moving to the nursing home and realizing how much he hated it, Mr. Mertz found himself in a dark time, and he was depressed by the lack of freedom and loss of independence. He was starting to find himself to be lonely. I was heartbroken. This was my surrogate grandfather, since I never had one, and he wanted to give up on life. I wrote him a letter one day, and I asked my parents to let me mail it. They had thought that it might have been too late, but they agreed to let me send it in hopes that it might help him. My letter consisted of me telling him that he made a difference in my life and others. I told him that we need more people like him in the world, that we need more kindness, compassion, and understanding people. I told him that I wanted to be like him one day, a ray of sunshine that could stop the darkest rainstorms. I told him that he was a positive influence and that his passing would hurt many people. I told him that I needed him. I thought it was too late, but one day my mother came home from the market. She told me that he talked to his grandson and that he told her that my letter showed him that he meant a lot to people, that he still had friends who cared, and that it gave him hope. Throughout his time in the home, I wrote him more letters and some pictures. He wrote me letters talking about how he wanted to accompany on my academic adventures and exciting trips. I wanted him to be there, but so much prevented that from being possible. In the end, he was like my great-grandfather, whether by blood or not. Mr. Mertz passed in the beginning of 2023, shortly after the new year. His life brought me sorrow, but it also brought me inspiration. I realized that he was more than a person who taught me about his childhood and horseback riding. He also taught me about kindness. He showed me that doing something as little as writing a letter could change someone's life and show them hope. Even a stranger can insert the value of kindness into someone's thoughts. Throughout my time at Swain, I've learned to embrace my culture, but I've also learned that inspiration lies all around the people in us. People have the biggest effect on us, and they can help you achieve things that you never thought possible. My inspirations have made, and continue to make, a huge difference in my life. Quiero terminar diciendo que no necesitas conocer quiénes quieres ser. Este tiempo es dedicado por eso. Sus amigos ayudan, sus maestros ayudan, y su familia ayuda. Mis inspiraciones ayúdame. Encuentra quién es su inspiración, y juntos pueden encontrar qué quieres ser. This translates to, I want to end by saying that you don't need to know who you want to be. This time is made for that. Your friends help you, your teachers help you, and your family helps. My inspirations help me. Find who is your inspiration, and you can find who you want to be. Thank you.